Hey everyone, we're back, and it is ModulGlock time. So, missed the train on Glocktober, but it's never too late. Anyways, what have we got today? We have a lot, and we're going to kind of blitz through it here. So, this is a Glock 17 Gen 3, and it is absolutely feature-packed. So, let's get into it. First things first, I think it's probably best to start with the mechanical features of the Glock and, you know, what kind of meat banana attention it's gotten. So I'm going to jump over to a Glock 17 Gen 3 slide that I have transparentized and made see-through. So what have we got? So let's start with the barrel. We do have just a little bit of rearward motion before it kind of engages and unlocks there and starts to tilt down. And as you bring the slide back even further, it tilts even further. Very cool. Obviously, we can also see the recoil spring compressing under there. And looking at the trigger, we do have a functioning trigger safety. For those of you with capacitive touchpads, when you put your finger on the trigger, it will automatically depress, but for those of us like me who do not, the second you start moving the trigger, it will depress. Additionally, in here you can see the trigger bar connector, whatever you want to call it, and how it moves. So it moves along a path at the back, and near the end of travel, goodness gracious, it will drop down, and that is what drops your firing pin or striker. Boop, just like that. Anyways, you can kind of see it in there. Obviously, I didn't animate that. But anyways, your trigger bar there is movable. Whee! All right, let's talk slides. Oh, hey, before we do, let's talk magazines. Don't have all of the magazines in here right now. For now, this is just a PMag G17 PMag, and we do have enhanced feeding and ejection animations. Look at that. And then it ejects right at the ejector. Boom! Just like that. Before I forget, we do have infinite ammo on. Hopefully it's off now. I forget how this scene works. Anyways, Glock sounds very nice and authentic. Perfect. All right, let's get into it. Slides, what do we have? We have a mixture of some Tarkov stuff and some aftermarket stuff. Let's just kind of run through it. We've got some Moto cut, Viper cut. Let's see here, just kind of going over Tarkov stuff. For those of you who know this, should all be pretty familiar. But we also have some outlandish stuff, like this Jaegerworks customized and milled slide. Very, very complex. Anyways, kind of over-the-top stuff. We do have a milled optic slide here, or milled optic system slide. It does take my micro pistol red dots. It has a appear on attach adapter plate, as you can see, and it also natively supports acro mounts as well. Big ol' mailbox sights. Anyways, let's see here. We've got that one. We've got a custom ported version for compensated barrels, which we'll get into later. We got a PS9 slide. There's my transparent Gen 3 slide for now. Wouldn't be a meat banana mod without Strike Industries. Kind of cringe, kind of cool, somewhere in between. And you can see the recoil spring through there. I've always liked that. We've got some ZevTech stuff as well. That's from Tarkov, nothing new there. And then the G18 with its full auto selector. So if we just go ahead and load this up. Boom. 1,200 rounds per minute. Just ripping through it. Anyways, that is the G18C slide. Now, if we back up just a little bit, let's say, you know, we just, yeah, sure, we'll bring back the Strike Industries. We have a Glock end plates tab here, which has a full auto end plate. Of course, why would we not? So we can fire this in semi, or no comment mode. All right. What else do we have in end plates? We have enhanced charging handles. I'm actually going to go back to this slide here so we can see these a little bit better. But these actually change where you can grab the slide. So by default, you know, we've got pretty, you know, one-to-one. Wherever the slide is, you can grab it and rack it. But with an enhanced charging handle, you can see we can grab it from just a little bit further away. For those of you like myself who have larger tracking rings, these may actually be legitimately useful for you. You can see this one has quite a gratuitous grab area. And it also looks absolutely awful. Anyways, this one's pretty tacky. But nothing comes close to the Glock ring. This one sticks way out the back. Definitely useful for those of you with oversized VR controllers. Anyways, let's keep that away for now. And let's move into barrels. I'm actually going to swap to my custom ported barrel here, or slide, and let's talk about barrels and kind of what they do. Obviously, we have normal barrels, threaded barrels, you know, crazy over-the-top Gucci barrels, especially the this custom dimpled one and the Strike Industries fluted barrel, both real lookers there, along with the Salient Arms with its branding and garish metallic colors. It comes in black, gold, and a very neat rose gold as well. Anyways, let's... Oh, yeah, of course, can't forget the KKM precision barrel for those who know. Let's talk about the compensated barrel here. I have worked with City to make basically part-dependent recoil. So if we take a look at a, you know, normal Glock barrel and just kind of take a look at our muzzle rise and flip, and then compare it to a compensated barrel, it's a little bit better. This goes, you know, each barrel has you know, a slightly different recoil profile, at least between the compensated versions. So here's a G18, which has some more aggressive compensating since it's designed for full auto fire. And then the most infamous Glock barrel of all time, the Radian Ramjet and Afterburner combo. They advertise this as reducing recoil up to, I think, like 40%, so that's the number that I matched. Leaving the Radian Ramjet on, let's talk about frames here. I do have a kind of custom stippled frame, and that comes in various colors, FDE and OD as well, along with the normal Gen 3 frame. For those of you Modern Warfare 2 G18 fans, had to get the olive drab in there. But stippled frames offer usually muzzle flip control and twist, so you can expect your recoil to be single degrees worth of more controlled. You can notice it a little bit more if you're one-handing or using full auto. We also have a Jaegerworks custom stippling job here, which looks pretty sweet. It's got that half moon cut up front as well. And it looks like I also added some tacky gold pins onto this one as well. We also have the Polymer 80 PFS 9. This comes in black, FD, OD, gray, pink. If you can dye it, you can have it. All sorts of colors. This one is pretty wild. It's got Picatinny up front as well. We also have the ZevTech OZ9. This actually features an enhanced magwell, making your reloads quicker and easier. Let's see here. Let's also... here we go. Now we're getting into it. We can change to a G19 frame. And we can jump over to our slides and change to... let's do a G19 MOS. There we go. So as you can see, we have automatically equipped a G19 barrel as well to match our slide. And yeah, you can change frames independently of barrels. So now you can have a kind of an underbite with your Glock and then head back to your G19 barrels, equip a Radian ramjet, and now you've got this neat kind of tucked compensator look. I think that looks really cool. But you know, we'll kind of leave it at the base for now and go back to G19 frames. G19 Gen 3, we have an agency custom stippling job. We have the Polymer 80 G19 frame, the Zev OZ9C, which is the G19 size. And then I do have an interesting G45 Gen 3 build here, which is essentially it takes G17 mags, full frame grip, but then G19 length frame. So, talking about that, we do have G19 mags, and they don't fit in this G45. So let's go back to a G19 Gen 3. Boom! And now it works. And it also accepts G17. So we do have frame-dependent mag compatibility, and we do have one more smaller magazine here, which does not fit our G19, but it does fit our G26. So if we'd come all the way to the bottom here, this is the only slide I have. The G26 does not have too much of an aftermarket, especially in the 3D model world, but here we are, our subcompact G26. I freaking love this thing. We do have some barrel options for this one, though. We've got a flush gold agency barrel, because why not? That comes in black and gold. Got some threaded barrel options here, and also a Radian ramjet and afterburner for the G26. So you can have no recoil on your very small gun. And let's actually... This is a build that I'm a really big fan of. A G19 with a G26 barrel and Radian combo. Wild stuff. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about other things that we have. We've got slide releases. We have the standard slide release and then the Vickers slide, which is just a little bit enlarged here. You can kind of see the profile is different compared to the standard. And then, let's see here, we also have the extended slide release, which has a nice little kind of triangular notch there on the side. And then most outlandish award goes to the Kagwerks extended and raised slide release. This thing comes up and out and back in all directions that you would not expect. And, of course, it comes in gold. All right, let's keep it gold for now. Let's talk triggers. We have a Glock standard trigger, which is, by all accounts, kind of crummy. It breaks all the way at the end and resets almost all the way back at the front of travel. And per usual, all of my triggers have different break and reset values. So we've got the CMC custom drop-in trigger there, super sensitive. The P80 We do have a polished standard trigger, which just has a slightly tighter break and reset value. The Strike Industries trigger, which of course comes in all sorts of crazy colors like red, and a ZevTech trigger. Let's keep the red trigger, that's kind of funny, and let's move on to see what else we have. Looking at slides, there is one slide that I wanted to talk about, and that is the JDJ Afterburner. This does have a matching barrel that's compensated, as you can see up front, but it also has an additional sight slot. So what we can do is we can customize our sights. We can do front sight, rear sight, independent, however you want them. But this slide has a third sight slot. So let's go ahead and equip, this suppressor height sight. And then I do have a rear sight cover back here. And now you can see this very interesting kind of reduced sight radius here, designed for red dot sights. Shorter sight radius, I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan. But it does put your sight in front of the red dot instead of behind it, and some people might just find it to be a little bit faster. I, for one, am not sold, but I do think it kind of looks cool. So, let's see here. Yes, sight covers. We've got all sorts of different sights, true glow, fiber optic type stuff, suppressor height sights, normal, kind of glow-in-the-dark stuff, plain suppressor height sights. We've got a lot of options here. One of the more interesting ones is this dead ringer sight. Oh, I forgot about the third sight there. Let's get that out of the way. There we go. All right. So this is a ghost ring sight. And to be honest, I'm still not entirely sure where it's zeroed to or, how it's best used, but it's kind of a wild one. All right, what else do we have? In the rear sight department, four slides that maybe don't have a, milled optic cut, but you still want a red dot sight on there. Whoops. You can equip the dovetail RMR plate, and you can just slap a red dot on anything you want there. Very cool. Now, there is another option, but it's currently broken, and if I equip it, it's going to break everything, but it's the loopholed Delta Point Micro. We're going to have to keep that one for a future devlog. All right, let's put that crazy dead ringer back on there in our quest to make an ugly gun. And let's talk about mag releases. We've got just a few options. The P80 just has a checkered texture as opposed to the kind of linear grill pattern that the standard release has. And then we do have an oversized mag release as well. It is kind of designed for the Zev OZ9C frame. That's kind of what it looks best with, but anyways, you can put that on anything. So what else do we have? We have magwells. I've got an ALG flared magwell, which comes in Amy Lynn Geisley purple. These also enhance the ease and speed of your reload. So that one is a pretty strong contender for tacky. This Dawson one as well is pretty outlandish and oversized. For the more subtle, understated, the Terran Tactical magwell is pretty nice. And then the last one, ZevTech, of course, going crazy. We've got magwell from them, which also comes in gold and red. Anyways, some pretty cringy stuff. Let's see if we can put this on. Let's see here. Let's do like a Jaegerworks frame. Oh, there we go. And then let's tuck this in with a Radian Ramjet. There we go. Let's see, that takes G17 mags. Boom. There we go. The race gun to end all race guns. Anyway, so you can kind of see how the recoil components stack together there. That was not a whole lot of recoil. Oh, and of course, give me my ring assist. Wonderful. All right, so that is everything we've got for ModulGlock right now. There are still plans. Of course, this is kind of the beginning fundamental work for this. I have plans for frame-mounted, rail adapters. I'm still kind of deciding on how I want to do compensators, if I want to make them a part or an attachment. Stocks as well. And then, let's see here. Of course, how can we not talk about chambering? So, this is a 9mm Glock, or small frame Glock. Well, actually, it's not a small frame. That's something even more different. The Glock ecosystem is wild. But standard Glock, 9mm. I could also make these multi-caliber for 40 Smith & Wesson. And I don't think there would be too many clipping issues with that. But if we get into the large frame Glocks, which is 10mm and 45 ACP, that's looking at more like mesh edits and distinct receivers and barrels and slides for those larger calibers, which I do not have yet. So for now, I think it's probably going to be either 9mm and 40 Smith & Wesson, interchangeable, and maybe one kind of large frame Glock chambered in 45 and 10mm. I do not have that many models outside of the kind of G17, G19, 9mm ecosystem, so it's going to require a lot of custom work and might be further down in the future. Additionally, this is a, well, maybe this is not, but this is a Gen 3 Glock. There is also Gen 4 and Gen 5. They're not all compatible, and not all of them have the same depth of aftermarket parts, so I'm still kind of reeling with how I want to manage that. They may be separate guns entirely. Anyways, that is everything we have with ModulGlock at this point. I hope you all are thoroughly entertained and ready for the latest and greatest modular pistol. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.